Good afternoon from McMinnville, Oregon. It's the day after Thanksgiving, and I decided to do something productive. I went for a walk because I feel disgusting for how much I ate yesterday. But anyway, I walked up to my booth and spruced it up a little bit and left the car there. Walked home because I had to ship out a lantern this morning, and then walked back and picked up the car. And on my way, I peeked alongside of one of the little thrift stores in town, and they've got a big junk pile, and they've got a trailer that's all falling apart where they throw their stuff. I don't know what the rhyme or reason is, but I picked up something cool and I'm stoked about it. I don't know if you're familiar with backpack fire putter outer type systems. I long ago ran into this little guy, and I bought a whole tub of fire parts, fighting parts, and this was in there, and I had no idea what it was. It's got like a hose barb on the end here. It's got a tip, and I just rubbed it down. I don't think it has any markings on it, but I did trace this. Oh yeah, it is Indian, 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 patent pending, DB Smith and Company, New York. It's marked right there. I was able to trace this down, and I got to tell you, I put a hose on this thing, and I sucked up water in this thing, and this thing shoots a country mile. It is crazy how effective this pump is. It'll pump water 30 feet easily. So the idea is that there's a hose that goes to a backpack, and the backpack's full of water, and you can walk around and do small brush fire work. So I got on eBay, and I've been looking at the backpack systems, and they're crazy money, and I'm too cheap to actually buy one off of eBay. But the painted ones went from anywhere from 100 something, and then the stainless steel ones went up to as much as 200, and that's without the fire hose. So I'm walking by, and this thing was sitting like this on top of that trailer. Now, the joke could be on me. I haven't tried to put water in it yet. Maybe it leaks. I don't know. But for some reason, it's in that pile. I'm thinking that it's probably not going to leak. But if you want to work with me, I'm going to clean this up today, and I'm going to look at this. Its pump. It came equipped with its pump as well. It's seized in there pretty good. So I'm going to get that off of there. I'm going to get this rust, and I'm going to clean this up, polish it up, and see what happens. So anyway, $15 for the stainless version of it, which is what I would have wanted. This one is National Pump Tank by PARCO. For fire, sling tank. Oh, sling tank on back, operate pump. Slide thumb forward on nozzle to obtain spray. There you go. It's a fire extinguisher, basically. So let me get some tools ready, and I'm going to start cleaning this baby out. Okay, so I went and filled her up, and it holds water. Nothing I figured, so it's stainless. So the other cool thing is let me pop this out, this little retainer clip, and the screen is still intact. I would think that those would have been some of the first. Oh, score! The backpack. They were in here. They're pretty ugly, but they're in here. I'm gonna dry these out right now. This is the backpack straps. Yep. Very cool. Let's try these out, and we'll get these all. See how those are all nasty? We're gonna dial this in. Ugly. Get them dried out over here. I'm stoked. The pump though did not work. It absolutely did not work. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this hose off and get it out of our way. Ooh, ooh. Oh, no wonder it doesn't pump. It's busted down here. All right, well that takes care of that. This pump is kind of cool the way it's kind of much. Oh, any markings on this one? Okay, I'm gonna cheat on this. I'm gonna show you my speedy method of working on soft metals like this. You got to get it dry. Let me do a test real quick first before I show off. Okay, so what I do is I have a very light wire wheel on my grinder, and I mean it's not a harsh. You wouldn't want anything like this. Okay, you don't want anything that'll tear up. You want something that's on similar, something like this, something that's, what do you call this? Is there a name for it? I don't know. Something that's light, and you don't want to apply much pressure at all on it. What you want to do is you want to go through and you want to take that wire wheel and you want to get all the big stuff off. Don't worry about trying to get it to shine, because the next step is once you get the big tarnish off, then you just use your Brasso that you picked up from a yard sale, get it all stirred up, put it on there, and then take it to your buffing wheel, and you get this. Okay, this was about 30 seconds worth of work. So I'm going to put you down, and I'm going to go to town on this, and I'll be back here in just a minute. All right. So when you're polishing stuff, and I'm going to make this disclaimer, pretty thick thing. Watch out for polishing real thin things, because this can change. You want to get some heat. Get that buffing wheel to warm up your work. Get those molecules dancing around, and you'll see that your polishing efforts are gonna pay off. Hang on just a second here. There's a little ball in there. There's a little screen. Oops. There's a little copper screen in there. And there's a ball and the tip. There's the tip. Get that screwed back in there. Okay, there's the handle. You see that? See how the handle's turning out? Okay, let me work the rest of this down. You can see where I'm working it down here. See the difference? not leaning into this hard at all. I'm letting the brush knock off that scale. Feeling it? See that? That looked like a lot of work, right? It wasn't. Get this end right here and we'll be done. I got that hose bar. Okay. All right, there you got it. Look at that. All right. That was a net of like, I don't know, 3 minutes. Now I'm going to take it over to the polishing wheel. I'm just going to rub in some of this Brasso. Honestly, it's not going to get much better, but this is going to seal it up. Got my polishing wheel over here. Rough it up a little bit. And here we go. This is just gonna put a nice little natural luster on it, to be honest with you. It's not gonna make it shiny all the way. I can make it shiny. If I wanted to, I could spend the time and make it shine like you wouldn't believe. But to be honest with you, I kind of like more of a natural finish. Now that dried out. Got wet again. There we go. It's going to give a nice, beautiful gold finish to it, which I actually prefer. And it's going to leave somebody with a more realistic, because these tarnish. There you go. There's the pump. Oh. It's gonna work too. Let me give it a little bit of where's the lubricant? Oh, I know. Where'd you go? Oh. You don't want to come out? No, you don't want Loctite. There we go. Oh yeah. That part's done. Mm-hmm. Okay. Hand pump's done. Go to the next part. All right, so I want to clean this handle up. This end, this rusty, this strap part right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tape off around this stainless here and around here, and then I'm going to use some tools. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to definitely look a lot better than this will here. I'll show you here in a second. All right, I'm going to work this little bracket here, my wire wheel. Yep. I need to change my battery. Oh, that's cool. The rivets that are holding this bracket on to the stainless can are copper. Okay. Back side here. Whoop. Shit out of put my mask on. I don't have one. Hang on. All right. I'll take off this chain. It's the chain that holds the lid on. Get that out of my way. There we go. This guy. See how rusty that is? Hang on, take my wheel to that. All right. So now you see this? The only rust in there is up inside there, and I'll show you what you do with that. Clean this up a little bit. That's cool that the lid, I mean, if the lid was missing, that would just, it'd be too hard, you know. Good luck finding one. Okay, let me set this nice lid in the pump out of the way. And this, in one of my past videos, I showed you this navel jelly. I mean, that works okay for removing rust, but if you want to neutralize rust, this stuff right here, it's Loctite Extend Rust Neutralizer. This stuff's really good. You just take your brush, like that, and I'm just gonna. It looks like milk. I'm gonna paint that up inside there. and here in about 20 minutes it'll turn that stuff to rock hard black. I'm also gonna just give this a little paint job down the line here on this chain. I'll show that to you when this thing takes its course. I'll show you how that ends up. You're gonna love it. Set this out of the way. Clean up my paintbrush. Okay. So we are cleaning up. You can kind of see. You see these rivets? See how this is cleaning up in here, and the rivets are, I don't know, copper or brass. That's looking pretty good. I'm working on the back side of it right now. I'll be back in a second. All right, what I'm doing here, you see that buckle right there? I'm just cleaning it up so it looks like that. And I'm just using a brass brush. So get yourself a brass brush like that, and then just start working it. Super careful when you're using this side grinder. Couple things: use high quality. If you don't use really good quality, I go to the welding store and I get these because these things fly off. The little wires, they'll get you. Plus, they don't last. The ones at Harbor Freight, they just, I mean, they're really just disposable. But just be super careful, and you don't have to apply a bunch of pressure. Very light, and then just be very distinct. So like this right here, I couldn't get this little, see where that's washed out right there with rust? I'm going to fix that right now. Okay, you can kind of see where that's cleaned up, and these buckles back here are cleaned up. Oh, there went my grinder. Oh. Okay, still working on this right here. I'll be right back. Okay, that's a little better. See that there? And kind of see in there, you see the handle turning out pretty good. So just need to get inside here a little bit. This is my trick I was showing you. This is the propeller. You take a piece of steel wool. I'm going to get down in this crack. Clean around between that handle and the... There we go. Jiminy crickets. Getting that hose off of that barb right there. That was, whew, that took some doing. So far, that was the hardest thing, is getting that rubber hose off of that. All right, I think that we're at a point where I need to clean this bad boy up, the rest for the hose. I'm going to use my heavy duty getter for that, and I'll be right back. All right, it's very rusty. You can see now it's cleaning up here, and it's cleaning up on the outside, but it's got rust on the inside down here. See inside there? So I'm gonna have to get creative on that. I think I'm gonna have to get a wire wheel. It's got that circumference with a extender and run it down, up and down there. Let's see what I got. Not 100% what I was looking for, but close. See how that works. All right, my battery's died on my cordless. And I don't want to wait. So I'm firing up a very old drill. Oh, it works. Smells like a blender when I'm using it. Let's see what happens. I'm trying to get into this crack. See that slot there? So far I was able to actually reach in there with oh, it's working good. Oh, let me look at this for a minute. I remember laughing buying this drill, this Ward's drill. That I'd probably never use it, but actually that has a really nice purpose actually. And it flat out got right on in there and did exactly what I needed to do. There's one spot down there. I'd like to try to get this one in there at the very bottom. It got it. It did it. It got it all on the outside and up in there. So now I'm just going to treat these areas that I took down to the metal. Clean this tank up. Never dull. Okay, that's great stuff. Just gonna clean this stainless right on up. There's some heavy duty stuff. I just take a little bit of acetone on some 1000 steel wool. It's not enough to scratch this, but it'll take up any. I had some tar on here, it looked like some black tar. Took it right off. All right. Put this back. go. I couldn't find silver, but I got black. Alright, I'm going to give top piece a little squirt. Okay. Any little overspray on the stainless I can wipe off with acetone. Very easy. I'll show you here in a second. I want those 3 rivets to show on the very top. There you go. See that? See the hose bib there. Just a touch of overspray. Around the corner. There. That's it. Dripping. Bottom. All good. Good. Now you see this back, see the corners here? I'll show you how I'm going to work that. I don't want to paint the whole thing. What I want to do is I just want to get underneath here. So here, I'm going to slide that underneath there and just touch it up. Very light spray. You'll see here in a minute. Bring this at an angle. Got a little drip here that I don't like. Fix that up. I'm going to turn my heater on. All right. The back's done. I got these buckles down here. I'm going to wipe off that overspray down there with the thinner. I turned on my blue flame heater to cut the starting to get cold. So I want this paint to stick. All right, that's it. The back side, which is the hardest part, is done. So, a buckle on the top with the rivets, the back plate, and the hose. See the hose holder there? Inside and out. That's good. All right, so I think all we need to do is put the hose back on and get the pump. All right, filter. Filter, retainer clip. Let's see, that went down. Yep. Should have paid more attention to how that came out. Like that. And our trusty chain. Put it back on. There's a little burr right there I'm going to take off. Okay, that didn't go like that. It must have went down. No? Huh. There. Snap in there. There you go. There's that. All right. There you go. Done. Full restoration, partial. I'm going to go down to Napa and get a new hose. A nice fresh hose. It's kind of brittle. There's the back side of it. It's looking good, huh? Bottom. I love it. I love the fact that it has all the parts. It's a good looking piece. Oh, the only thing I need to do is clean up these backpack. Hang on. Alright, well, we cleaned up pretty good. But there's some stains in the fabric. I'm gonna a lot better than they were. There's some stains in the rust stains in the fabric. I'm gonna hang these up and hit them with the power washer and let them dry real good. And I think they'll be okay. All right, well, that's it. That is the $15 side of the road or side of the thrift junk store. Thanks for hanging out, and until next time.